Hello and welcome to the English Institute of Sport here in Sheffield for today's Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final. You're joining myself, Mark Ruffsedge, head coach of England Wheelchair Rugby League, and Jack Brown, who is the captain of England Wheelchair Rugby League. Hello, Jack.
Hi, Mark. Glad to be here.
So we're game one to kick us off today is Hull FC versus Gravesend Dynamo. So really interesting fixture, Jack. Where do you see this one going?
Yeah, well, we've seen on the lead up in this Challenge Trophy that these two teams have really been dominating throughout the competition with lots of big scores putting out against the other teams. I think it's going to be a really good show. They play some good rugby league, a lot of good passing and really fast play of the ball. So I think we're going to have a really exciting first game to the day. Yeah,
I think it is going to be high scoring. Just to put some perspective for our listeners and viewers out there around the score. So there's lots of very high scoring games in Wheelchair Rugby League. What's the explanation behind that?
I think it's down to it is a five-a-side team, so there's a little bit more space. It means that there's less breaks for the players. They have to work a lot harder. There's not much time for a bit of a breather, but because of that, there is a bit more of a space on the pitch, and you get a little bit higher scoring. The differences don't really reflect on how the games are played and how intense they actually are, but they're so exciting, and the tries are second to none.
Okay, so we're going to hear from our coaches in our first game today. Mike Swanger from Hull FC and Jason Owen from Gravesend. Hi, so we're here with Mike from Hull FC. So you've been around since 2013 and this is your first final here today. Tell me how the boys are feeling.
Yeah, the boys are excited, nervous as you can imagine. We're just looking forward to getting started now and just doing our best really, see what we can do.
So out there we've got many new viewers new to the sport. Can you tell us a little bit about Wheelchair Rugby League and what they expect to see today?
Yeah, Wheelchair Rugby League, so basically it's rugby league but in wheelchairs. It's running similar to the tag game, so you're taking tags off the shoulders to complete a tackle. There's only a few minor adaptations to it, but it's still got the intensity, ferocity, and it's quite brutal, yeah. But it's a good sport to watch and play, bringing people together, abled and disabled, and families alike. So.
Yeah, so for our kind of rugby league audience out there, what kind of differences are they going to see in terms of the style of play and the collisions and things like that? Can you go into a bit of depth around that?
Yeah, so obviously there's no scrums. We kick, but we use our hand with a fist or a cupped hand and kick the ball forward, so you can perform stuff like rubber kicks, drop kicks. Your conversions are offer an adapted kicking tee, so it's slightly higher, no higher than the wheel. So if you score a try, obviously you can go for the 2 points. There's no 40-20s. Everything else is just more or less the same.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike.
No problem.
Joined by Jason Owen, the player coach for Gravesend Dynamo, here at the Challenge Cup and the Challenge Cup Trophy final. This is your first final. How's everyone feeling?
First final for Gravesend Dynamo. Definitely excited. Looking forward to it. I actually played for Hereford in the plate final last year, so but for the club, it's the first final.
So a little bit of experience bringing in for Gravesend. How are the players picking up on your past experiences then?
Yeah, we have got quite an experienced team. We've got Dan Grant, who's played for Scotland. We've got Neville and Ben, who have both played for Ireland. And we've got Jack and Max, two young players up and coming. One's under 15s, the other's early 20s. And they've both got a big passion for the sport, so they're looking forward to it.
Very good. How's the build-up for this particular game been? Have you changed anything or made any different attributes into the game?
The build-up couldn't have been any worse, really, because even though we've had a good season, we've stopped training May time because of our venue, and our season traditionally goes from when we first started, as when we founded the club, after watching yourself and your brother back in 2013, which inspired us to start the club up. We always went from October to May. So in May time, that's when our training season finishes. So we might be a few cobwebs and a bit rusty the first few minutes, but yeah, I think with the excitement we'll get us over that.
I'm sure you'll be okay once you warm up into it. Thanks for talking to us, Jed.
Yeah, good to see you.
So for those who have just joined us on Twitch, Facebook and the Our League app, welcome to today's Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final. Today's lineup as follows. Hull FC in the number 1 shirt is Billy Swanger, number 4 is Nathan Sherwood, number 7 Mike Midgley, number 8 Tristan Norfolk, number 3 Ash Baker, and the head coach is Mike Swanger.
They're going to be kicking off today against Gravesend Dynamite. Wearing the number 2 is Dan Grant. The number 4 is Jason Owen. Number 9 is Ben Hope. Number 1, Neville Hope. Number 5, Max Owen. And the head coach is who we've just heard from before, Jason Owen.
And the replacements for Hull FC in the number 10 shirt, David Gill. And number 11, head coach Mike Swanger.
And for Gravesend, Jack Linden will be playing off the bench.
So the teams are just going through their last-minute preparations. There's the team's presentation. So the team's just doing the traditional pre-match handshake. Gravesend will be playing from right to left on the screen, with Hull FC left to right. Both playing in the black and white, so that'll be interesting for us, Jack, with our eyesight.
Yeah, I've seen double. Well, that's the thing about rugby league, though, isn't it? Generally, the players that you're playing against are the ones opposite you, aren't they? So, if you're tackling the wrong person, you're going the wrong way, aren't you?
Let's hope they don't tackle the people in green.
Be the head coach and player for Hull to kick us off. Quite a unique player, Mike, isn't it? If you can see on the screen, we've got he's just got one arm and one leg, and he uses his foot to actually push the chair. And you'll see, it's actually really impressive how much pace he can get up and how manoeuvrable he is with his chair. And luckily, I've never played him, but I'd be terrified of breaking that ankle. And we're off.
As Jack Linden carries the ball in for Gravesend.
Gravesend will try and take the ball laterally. Hull trying to really set the tone with these hard tackles to start off. They're letting know Gravesend they're not here to play around. Early kick by Jason Owen. It's still in, it's bouncing, just goes out.
Okay, so that's a restart for Hull FC.
Not a bad idea, seemed to be on. The support run was there, just an unlucky bounce towards the end there.
Yeah, the reason for the early kick there, the Hull FC pressure. They wanted to relieve the pressure and get some field position. Just on the 4 metre line, Mike Swanger. This is the first carry for Hull FC.
The play of the ball is going to be crucial in this final. We see how fast that Hull are tagging up. This is really important in the game, that you get the defence on the back foot trying to retreat, and you can hit them up fast as possible.
That's a penalty. Well, the penalty for no tagging.
Yeah, in the wheelchair game, we need to make sure it's the player's responsibility to have both tags on at all times. So if you do replace the tag and it falls off before you've played the ball on the floor, it's turnover and penalty. They'll kick for touch Gravesend. Don't really want to be giving this field position off early into the game. See what Gravesend can do with this.
Yeah, just for those viewers out there new to the sport, in the running game that would be the equivalent of not playing the ball with your foot. So playing the ball incorrectly results in a penalty. In wheelchair rugby league, it's both tags on.
Imagine what we'll see. Jason Owen just
through.
Beating 3 players. Is at the line. He's just tagged at last second.
This is a real opportunity here for Gravesend. Let's see what they can do.
Try to get the up, it just goes forward.
I think they just need to be a little bit more patient there, don't they, Jack, just to earn that field position?
Yeah, in a position like that
bit.
on the try line, you want to really try to pull them out and get them on the retreat a little bit more. It's quite hard to get a crash over on the line when they've already retreated. So if you can pull them out in that scenario, it's going to give you a lot more space to actually find them gaps. And we've just seen with Jason's evasion, he should be able to get through one of those gaps.
And his long limbs.
Yeah. If you stick around later, we're going to be seeing the Challenge Cup final as well. That's going to be played between the Argonauts Skeleton Army and Leeds Rhinos.
Making some good meters from this set our Hull FC. We get a quick play the ball. There's Neville Hope on a slow retreat. Really building some momentum.
There we go, that's Hull through. Try just left of the sticks.
It's Billy Swanger with the first try for Hull FC.
That all came from the previous player. Just if you can see, they had 3 players around one person. If you could draw them people in, like we say, with that fast V-tagging and playing the ball again, that just creates that space and a good bit of chair evasion and get that try under the sticks. Not bad, should be an easy conversion for them, but you know, never say never.
No pressure on this kick.
I've missed a couple of these.
And there's another 2 points. The conversion to Hull takes the scores to 6-0. Just under 4 minutes gone. And Jason Owen looks to kick us off.
Tries the short kick, picked up by Hull. Another bit of a version, they've got the overlap. Just tucking a little bit wide. It's 3 players again around the play of the ball. If Hull can get an extra man into these runs so they can be coming up in 2, that's where the space is going to be. If they're drawing 3 men every time.
Just need to speed that play the ball a little bit just to take advantage of that slow retreat and the numbers. And that's gone dead. That'll be a 7-tackle set there for Gravesend. That's Neville Hope to get us started.
Stop the chair!
Big diversity in the Gravesend camp, isn't there? A lot of youngsters, a few older players.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix, isn't it, in terms of styles of play and ages and experiences, you say?
Yeah, we see, and mirroring that, the Hull side all pretty uniform, aren't they?
Yes. And expect to see an impact from Dan Grant when he gets on. Bit of a big beast.
He's just very dominant in the ruck. Oh, it's a great little kick.
That's a great little kick there from Hull FC.
Get the repeat set.
Really putting some pressure on Hull.
Playing
Meters with every carry.
Rugby. Playing smart rugby.
Gravesend just soaking up the pressure.
Excellent drop out, goes all the way to the Hull 8 metre. Good chase from Gravesend.
Great kick chase there. He's bounced off the tackle, it's play on. And here's Mike.
Mike again,
It's a lovely little line, drawing 3 defenders in. Nice quick play the ball.
Another kick. This will bounce up.
Oh, that's close. That's close. Some really exciting stuff here from Hull FC, asking lots of questions of the Gravesend defence.
Yeah, I think that's the penalty given for obstruction. The referee Steve Abel just explaining.
Are they going to take the 2 here, or are they going to play on? I think they're going to take the field position.
Yeah, I think use the field position here.
Play on.
They're playing good rugby. And
he was just tagged just over the line there, so the ball gets played back a little bit. Gone down the short side.
I think that's the difference between the 2 teams at the moment. The pace onto the ball from Hull is a little bit faster, and they're running at the gaps. So it's just creating that little extra space for the next play. Another kick in.
That's forced an error there from Gravesend.
It's another repeat set.
It's another set of 6. This will tell at some point in the game. Jack Orlis defending. And that's a tag taken here for Hull.
We'll have to see.
And again, then, boys! Straight in, come on!
Michael take the set up.
Think about it, hold!
Same again, just want to try and pull
That's the
pull
one
the players out of
speculator.
it. Puts back.
Is that a try?
That's a great try.
He's gone into the in goal, George, and that's try given.
He hit his knee there a little bit. See again,
So
just
he just goes
quick
through the
turn
middle,
back.
two defenders. Really good grip and carry there from the Hull FC number 1, Mike Swanger. That's his second try. It's a successful conversion, takes the score to 12-0 to Hull FC.
What do you think the message is to Gravesend now then? Two scores down.
I think it's just about keeping hold of that ball. I think they've invited some pressure from Hull with some unforced errors, haven't they? So I think it's about keeping the ball, transferring the pressure, and getting to the right parts of the field. I think if they wants to do that and they get into the opposition half, I think they can be a real threat. I think we've seen in a couple of sets, haven't we, how threatening they can be. It's just about keeping hold of that ball. So it's building that pressure, I think, is the message that will go out to the Gravesend guys. It's a good kick chase there from Gravesend.
Every tackle Hull are taking in, they're always drawing at least 2 men, which is creating the gaps. Gravesend need to try to man off and just go 1-to-1. This is a bit better from Jason, good chase.
So again, just for our rugby league viewers out there who are new to wheelchair rugby league, so why don't we want 2 or 3 people involved in a tackle in the wheelchair version of the game?
Well, as you can see from this game, we're only playing 5-a-side, so what we've always taught at our club is everybody has to be involved at every point of the game. There's no time for a rest like you might do in a running game. Every player needs to get, even after playing the ball, they need to make a push, get back involved, especially in defence. If you put too many into attack, it's too easy to get the ball laterally out to the side and really take advantage of that overlap. So where in the running game you might be able to just scramble a little bit when you give that overlap. It's a lot harder to do that in a wheelchair. There's obviously no sidestepping in a wheelchair, even though some might try it. Let's see what Gravesend can do with the ball now. They've got some good field position.
Go off the line.
Good pass
That's
off
a
from
great
Jason.
ball.
Ball's out. Oh!
Just that final take there really opened them up there. It's like we talk about, Jack, there. Everyone, they got the field position. They're a real threat, Gravesend.
Yeah, looking for Hull. You see again in the wheelchair game, there's no scrums in this game. So when there's a knock on, it will be just a straight turnover.
Let Hull off the there. That's play the ball back a couple of metres. Out a little bit. These 2 involved in that tackle. Nice little line behind the ruck.
Yeah, the lines are really good. Trying to get that marker, and getting in behind that marker just takes him completely out of the game. He has to commit to that tackle again. It's just tiring out the Gravesend defence. And another kick in for Hull. Will this one bounce up?
Ooh.
Oh!
It's a tough one for the in-goal judge. Referee one's just going over, and the try's given. This kick just causes all sorts of confusion, doesn't it?
Great chase.
That's just brilliant chase there from Hull FC. Well-deserved try there.
It's just a smart bit of play. Anybody else would look at that and think that's going out, and just taking that off chance, that 1% of it might just bounce back, and he'd bet on it, and it's just in the right place at the right time. Great bit of skill.
the wind took that to the right of the post there, Jack.
Yeah, someone needs to shut that door, don't they?
So that brings the scores to Hull FC 16, Gravesend 0.
13 minutes gone in the game.
So what's your thoughts on the game so far, Jack? How's it panning out?
I think the team that plays the better defence is definitely going to be asking the best questions of the others. Both teams that we've seen are very good on the attack. They can pick a line and they can dip a shoulder, but it's the defence that's really going to sort the players out of which team's going to be dominant.
It's gone out of the back. That'll be a restart for Hull FC. I don't think Gravesend are far off the pace. They just need to get the hands on the ball with some quality field position.
Yeah, that comes from building off some good defensive sets. We've seen that how Hull are asking the questions. They're putting these early kicks in and they're really moving the Gravesend defence around, getting these repeat sets as well. If Gravesend can sort of mirror that, get a couple of repeat sets themselves, they're definitely in this game. I said at the beginning how it's quite a high scoring sport, but it's also, because it's a high scoring sport, 16 points is quite an easy way to get back from that. We've seen it in the past.
So that's the ball turned over really deep there from Hull FC. Playing a really smart game of rugby league here.
Some good line speed coming from Gravesend though. Pass out to the wing.
There's a good bit of field position for Gravesend. Let's see what they can do. A bit more pace opening up. It's just a bit of a slow play the ball there from Jason Owen.
Rather be slow than be giving away them penalties. I think sometimes maybe Gravesend are just trying to beat the players too much. You see how Hull, when they are getting into 3 men, 2 men, they're just allowing that tag to be taken, getting the fast play of the ball and catching on the back foot, where Gravesend are just trying to beat everyone a little bit too much. That should be a repeat set. Knocked forward by the Hull.
So this is positive from Gravesend. There's a tag missing there, I think. That's a tag missing.
No tag on his right shoulder.
Again, just to our viewers new to the sport, that becomes a tackle there. So this is a full set in the Hull FC half here for Gravesend. Let's see what they can do. Just a little bit of overrunning there from the number 7. And a little bit of evasion there. Great scoring of the posts.
Just taking the run against the grain. Great bit of rugby.
So he's gone out, squared the chair up and took advantage of the space. That's a real positive for Gravesend. Their first decent bit of field position to come away with a score.
Yeah, we know they can do it, don't we? They was up there towards the beginning of the game and unlucky with the knock on, but when they keep hold of the ball, like you say, all they need is the ball, and both teams are more than capable of playing some good rugby league, especially in attack.
This is Jack Linden. It's a converted score, taking the scores to Hull FC 16, Gravesend 6. Just under 17 minutes of the game gone. Be interesting to see when Gravesend make the substitution to Dan Grant. He'll certainly ask some questions of the Hull FC defence.
Yeah, it was a good player, Dan Grant. For me, it's down to him keeping his head. We've seen in a couple of previous games, just lets the collisions get the better of him. But if he can keep his head and control himself in the ruck, it's going to be very exciting when this man comes on.
It's a slow retreat, good play the ball there.
Good yardage and making a lot of ground.
Making a lot of ground. That's a long ball over the top.
Excellent.
That's a great score there from Gravesend. I think that can all be pinpointed to that quick play the ball just at the start. So two quick play the balls and the bounce meant they were opening up on the outside. A couple of long balls and they're in the corner.
Yeah, just great timing from Ben Hope, just hanging out on that wing as ball's coming over. Great little.
It's a long ball
off the top.
Over the top. Great delivery there on the final 2 passes.
You don't get tired of tries like that, do you?
A bit more difficult on the first attempt.
We were talking on the pitch earlier today. We had to dodge a couple of his warm-ups.
And we were stood right over there on the corner flag.
Gravesend definitely still in this game. Only 4 points in it.
This is the first bit of adversity Hull FC have faced during the 19 minutes of the game so far.
Game of momentum. It's which team's going to be able to turn the screw and really just try and get that momentum back on their side. Get the ball back, like we say.
He's carrying the ball, isn't it?
Excellent offload. Good offload.
Good second phase.
Out again, that'll be 2 tags.
2 tags slows the play the ball up a little bit.
Jason Oil will dip one. See if Gravesend can get another repeat set from this one.
He's turned the ball over.
Oh, and Jason's through.
And those long limbs in action.
This turns into a water, doesn't it? Just changing the style a little bit there, Gravesend. Before just making the simple passes, but from the build-up play, just keeping the ball alive a little bit, getting them offloads rather than taking the tackle.
It's like we've just said around, it's a 5-person game, isn't it? Wheelchair Rugby League, so everybody's got to be involved in everything. That's a great example there, wasn't it? Your job's not, you don't clock off when you've played the ball, you've got to stay alive. I mean, yeah, it's exactly what happened there. Space opened up in the middle.
That takes Gravesend into the lead.
We're seeing a lot of that, the ball going out the back, haven't we, from kickoffs?
Yeah, it's quite difficult. They get a 7 tackle set as well, don't they, from this, which is you just don't want to be giving away them extra yards, especially with a team that's got the momentum in the game at this time.
Just seems to have lost the line speed a little bit, Hull FC here.
Yeah.
Just inviting Gravesend into the half. It's an unforced error.
Recovered by Jason.
It's tackle 3. It's tackle 4. It's a great kick
Nice
there.
little kick.
He's just over the line, so they're turning the ball over really deep into the Hull FC half here. It's all about carries, getting metres up the field. Quick play the ball.
Great pressure as well, trying to trap them in there. Going back to what we say, it's defence is going to be key to who becomes the victor in this test. Great line speed from Gravesend there, really putting pressure on the pass.
Hull FC, you need to get back to basics, moving that line, applying some pressure, eating metres up.
Yeah, very late to be pushing up off the line. Need to really get into Gravesend face, try and stop this momentum. Great line. Oh, just got the tag.
Turning back on the
Nice
inside.
offload.
It's a good own tackle there from Neville Hope.
Yeah, great chair position. The drop goal attempt.
Oh, and
It's
it's
over.
nudged over.
Just creeps over the bar.
That's a successful drop goal there for Gravesend. So just like the running game, the points mimic. So 4 for a try, 2 for a conversion or a conversion penalty, and 1 for a field goal.
Not a bad play to be going for the drop goal early on, do you think?
No, I think it's they've got the momentum now, haven't they? So they're coming back with a point, and they're going to get the ball back here. So
Again, just
I think it's a smart bit of play there from.
Just asking the questions, get them repeat sets, keep the pressure on Hull.
Here he is, Dan Grant.
Dan Grant on for Gravesend.
He's out of his chair.
Great tackle. Watch for Dan Grant for the crash over.
He likes his physical stuff. Here he is. Is that a tag? Yep, he's got the tag there. There's a lot of swinging out for tags there, reaching out. I mean, in wheelchair rugby league, we talk about getting your chair in front just to stop that momentum, and there seems to be a lot of reaching out, doesn't there, at the minute?
Yeah, it's something we advocate really strongly at England, isn't it? The getting the chair, maybe sacrifice a little bit of the yards just to make sure your chair's in front. But some people are obviously better than others at reaching for them tags.
Yes.
Puts the little kick in, picked up.
It's not a bad place to turn the ball over, is it? Let's see what Hull have got here.
Just need to complete this set.
Some good metres there on that first carry.
Great
Really
yardage.
taking advantage of that hole behind the ruck, aren't they? Getting some real purchase from that.
Some good pressure from Gravesend pushing up off the line as well.
He's got some 3 metres there. He shouldn't be making that from a static start. So last tackle. Kept the ball alive. Did he touch that Gravesend player?
Yeah,
He's gone back to 1. This is a good place to start for Hull.
There's another unforced error there. Them scenarios really need to keep your head, don't you? When you get that repeat set, people get that tunnel vision for the try line, don't they? And that's where these unforced errors are coming from. But
I think particularly after you've been doing all that defending, that kind of...
yeah, it takes the wind out of your sails.
You get a little bit excited when you get the ball, don't you? So it's just about being patient, isn't it? And
For those who haven't heard of Wheelchair Rugby League before, this game does allow able-bodied players to play alongside disabled as well. There's only 2 ABs allowed on the pitch. That's why you might see some of the players standing up after they've been knocked out of the chairs. It's not a miracle, they're just ABs. Good kick from Gravesend. Lovely kick. Great
that's
chase.
a great score.
Awesome work.
Really smart play there. He's seen the whole lines come up, and he's just kicked in behind. Max Owen there gets the advantage, steaming onto the ball there to score.
One of the younger players in the Gravesend side. Another testing kick. Seems like both teams are really enjoying this sports centre. We've had a couple of training sessions here ourselves, haven't we?
Yeah, it's a really fast surface out there, isn't it?
Yeah, really good quality core. I was going to say good wood, but just a good pitch.
Good wood.
Yeah, it's good wood. 2021, the semi-finals are going to be here. Is that right?
Yeah, so the semi-finals and the second group are going to be based out of the hall just to the back of us. So some really exciting times heading towards the Rugby League World Cup in 2021. And it's just been great, hasn't it, getting ourselves familiar with this place over the last couple of camps.
Yeah, it's a really good, well-run institute, and a couple with they work alongside with the wheelchair basketball as well, who have been established here for a long time, and they do a lot of events here, and they know what they're doing and they look after us. So expecting some great things from this place and from this sport.
Yeah, I think Sheffield's a city used to hosting world-class sport, isn't it? Be that training centres. A lot of NGBs are based out of here, like British Boxing. It's been a stable for the likes of AJ, hasn't it? And
we've just seen some of the boxing academy outside as well. Just always something. Is this another kick? The Gravesend, excellent chase. Might need to put some padding on that wall.
That's a try there for number 9, Ben Hope. Some real pace there coming onto the kick. That kick's proving really threatening, is it, for Gravesend?
I think Hull just need to think about how to support that early on. From the first kick that they've scored, to let two kick chases and 2 scores from that, the Hull side need to really be thinking straight away, right, let's drop a winger, or let's play a fullback. And it's just not quite more reactive than proactive. Hull really needing to get the momentum back, otherwise Gravesend are starting to try and take this game away from them.
Took the score there to 29-16 in favour of Gravesend in today's Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final. Just a reminder to our viewers that we've got the Challenge Cup coming up afterwards. The Argonauts Skeleton Army are taking on Leeds Rhinos.
It's going to be a very exciting game, this one. Them two teams played each other a couple of weeks ago. I think there was only 12 points in the game, but I think it got something 70. Let me find that. I haven't got it down here, but I think it was about 72-60 was the final score.
Close.
Very close game.
Two contrasting styles of play, which would be pretty intriguing for us to watch this afternoon.
Leeds side being a very robotic and structured team, playing off set pieces. The Argonauts playing quite open play, just like this from Gravesend. And forward pass called by Steve Abel. I thought he might have been calling for the hip thrust there as well, though. Like we say, like Dan needs to keep his head, trying to fend off the arm there. There is no fending in the wheelchair game, even though a lot of people do get away with it here and there. I know Jody Boyd Ward from the Leeds Rhinos likes to give me a good dig when we're playing.
And you'll see on the show this afternoon, 3 PM kick-off. Lots of people involved in the national performance programme for England, so lots of top-end talent involved in this afternoon's Challenge Cup final.
Yeah, hopefully we'll try to get hold of some of the players from the performance unit, get their take on today's events and how the teams are doing and what they think of the skills on show. Again, really good position for Gravesend. Dan Grant on missing man.
How's that big fella got through that hole there? Definitely noticed the difference in the pace since Dan's come on.
I think it's that extra threat. He's quite a big dominating player, and you can't help but keep an eye on him while you're defending. And he, again, we've said it a lot, asking a lot of questions, and like we say, they're reaching out there. The whole side just need to stop reaching, maybe give up that extra metre of yards, but make sure the chairs stop then. It's quite quite an easy skill to develop, the evasion in this. Being able to just lift the hand, that tag just becomes invisible to you, and it's, especially with a tall player like Dan as well, it's quite easy to get the tags away. So if you've not got that chair in front and got them stopped. So just under 7 minutes left to play in this first half. Gravesend pulling this game away a little bit, 35-16, but we've seen it in the past, haven't we, Mark? The score's just it's too easy to make a comeback in this sport.
Yeah, definitely, particularly in a bit of a short pitch like we've got today. The more you've got the ball, definitely you're going to be chipping away and eating meters up and getting lots of opportunity to score tries.
It makes for a lot of fairy tale endings to games, doesn't it, with the way the scores work on Wheelchair Rugby League.
We've been on the back end of some comebacks in the past, haven't we, Jack, through England?
Yeah.
Some tough ones to take.
Yeah, they've aged me quite a bit.
I think it's preventing the caffeine shampoo from working on myself.
You can't blame us on your hair loss, Mark.
That's the 7 just needed to push up there, just to close that space down on that right edge.
But it's smart from Gravesend as well, though. They're seeing where the slow retreat is and making that run. They're letting the defence tell them where to go. And again, it's a great line from Jason Owen.
That's just some offload there, isn't it?
Takes the sticks with him.
You don't get any bonus points for taking the post with you.
Yeah, again, another good bit of rugby league from Gravesend.
Just sucks in a couple of defenders there, opening the space on the outside. Maybe just not give the try.
Oh, have we not had that? There was a forward pass was called by Steve for this one.
The crowd's starting to build nicely, isn't it, Jack? We've got a few in the house today.
Yeah, quite a few people. We see some familiar faces, some new faces. Down in the middle, we've got Ralph Rimmer. Seems to be enjoying himself.
Dave Woods from the BBC RL. Hopefully he's not coming to critique us. And Andy Wilson from the RFL as well.
We've seen a couple of Leeds players have arrived as well as the Argonauts. They'll be watching this, getting themselves in the mindset for the Challenge Cup later on. You can hear the call from the Hull bench, stop the chair.
Is this a drop goal? He was
His
thinking about it.
drop goal.
And that's tackle called on the last tackle. He was thinking for the drop goal then, and it opened up.
I think maybe the drop goal wasn't, might have been on for that one. They're quite a slow push up from Hull side.
Yeah, there's not a lot of pressure there, was there, on the kicker?
So they proved to create some space.
You've got to really compliment the Gravesend defence here. It's moving up.
There's a lot of pressure.
It's restricting. There's not a lot of time spent in their half from Hull FC compared to that first sort of 5-10 minute period when Hull came out on top. That's a great little kick there,
yeah.
just asking lots of questions. He's got Gravesend on the back foot.
Another repeat set for Hull now. See if they can start to just get this ball. That's all they need. They just need to keep hold of it. Bounced nicely.
It's a really good kick chase. Just need some more quick play the ball. There's two defenders in a really tight spot there. They should open them up here.
Hull doing what Gravesend were doing at the beginning of the game, just trying to beat the players too much.
It's another repeat set. Not a bad place
Just
to end
keep
the set.
building,
They just need
keep
to.
building that pressure.
They've got 2 minutes here to get something out of this sustained pressure.
Excellent drop out by Jason Owen.
Brilliant chase there from the 2 young fellas. He's coming down the short side. Just a bit of a slow play the ball. They're starting to get some meters here now at Hull, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a little late into the first half. Hopefully they can hold this into the second. Gravesend will be just wanting to get this half finished with so they can great position for Hull once again. Mike's at the try line. Is that a score for Hull? Referee calls the tag. I thought maybe could have cut in there. That was a bullet pass. And try in the last seconds of the game.
I think that's just rewards there for those repeat sets from Hull.
They did excellent to keep hold of that ball. It was only 2 metres away. That was a bullet pass. I think the reason he fell out of his chair was the ball just took him out.
So a conversion to come, 35-20.
This conversion should take us into the second half.
Do you think that's changed the team talk at half-time for Gravesend, that conceding that score?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, all they need to do is go into the changing rooms and just talk about where the positives were in the game and really come out in the second half and relive them. Start playing the game that they're good at, threatening that kick, making the good cover drives and lots of support. And same with Hull, just trying to remember how when they're on top, what they've been doing, what are the processes that we were putting in place, relive them and just come out in the second half. 15 points is nothing in the game of Wheelchair Rugby League. This game is still wide open.
Yeah, I think that late score from Hull is a timely reminder of what they've done well in periods of the game. It's just about being patient, turning territory into points. I suspect this is going to be the last play of the half here. It's the wind again.
Seen that, I could have told you. They thought you were joking, didn't they?
I think it's the hot air coming from the commentary box having an effect on the ball. This is the last play. Are you going to see it out? Oh!
That's the chair out.
No,
The drop out.
there must be some time left on the referee's clock.
Maybe his watch is a little slow.
Fergie time. So again, there's a slight difference in the rule from the running game to the wheelchair game. If the ball goes out after a restart, the defending team get to keep possession as opposed to the attacking team.
We did used to play that rule 5 years ago. I was at Halifax, we played a game against Leyland and they just found a way of making the kick, bounce it on the floor, it goes straight out. I think we lost 120-0 that day. So I think that's why they changed it.
And that's half time.
Great first half on both teams, momentum switching a lot. Scores 20-35 in the favour of Gravesend Dynamite. What would your message be to Hull going into the second half?
So as Hull just as alluded to there, I think that late score was a timely reminder of if we're patient and we start building pressure, it'll eventually turn into points. I think there's times in the game where they've probably pushed that pass. I'd be talking about line speed, getting up, putting some pressure. No team likes pressure, do they? So that'll force some errors. and earn us some territory.
I can see Hull definitely have the tools in the belt to pull this one back and get back in. Winning the game for most of it until Gravesend just got that long streak of momentum.
Just going through some highlights of the first 40 minutes.
Junior's been very strong for Gravesend today.
Yeah, that's Max there, just putting the ball down. There he is again with a long ball that starts off
It's
the
a great
move.
draw and pass. Goes back to what you were saying at the beginning of the game. Every player needs to be involved in every play, and that's something Gravesend really have been advocating during this first ever Wheelchair Rugby League trophy.
Again, just another reminder to our viewers out on Twitch, the Our League app, and
The Paralympic Games YouTube channel.
we've got another final, the Challenge Cup final, kicking off a little bit later between the Skeleton Army from the Argonauts and Leeds Rhinos. So I think that'll be unusual for our majority of our viewers out there to see two teams from Kent. It's a bit of a hotbed, isn't it, for Wheelchair Rugby League? There's a few teams down there.
Yeah, there's a real good atmosphere down here for the Wheelchair Rugby League, especially. They've got there's a lot of juniors down in the south of the country. Obviously, up the north where we are, it's a little bit easier to get the points across with rugby league, sort of given some hard questions to answer and things down here, but people don't really support rugby league as much as they do the other one, I will say.
And it's a real hotbed of talent for us as well. Lots of players supplied to the national performance programme from the south. So a real split across the country, really, isn't it? Which
just gives you a
really
lot of headaches, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Okay, so we're going to sign off and take a little break during this half time. Myself and Jack look forward to being back with you in a couple of minutes' time. Thank you.
See you soon.
I think the most important thing about going on tour as a team is you get a chance to kind of get away from your clubs and get away from all the distractions, and then to bond as one unit and then get used to playing together and going different places together and doing everything together. So it kind of you build a club within a club, you know, and become like Club England, as it were. And you get to go out and play teams that you don't usually get to play, so it kind of tests you against other teams to see how they're doing things as well.
I think we've got something to prove after the last World Cup. France narrowly beating us in the final, so it's there's a couple of changes in their squad, a couple of changes in ours, and I think it's just going to be a really good stepping stone to really knit the team together and put in the process that we want to for that World Cup. I'm more looking for off the court things, so I just want to make sure the team's getting on well, we're all working towards the same goals, and we've got a punctual attitude towards everything that we do, and we act professional in everything we do on and off the pitch.
I think this time around we're more prepared. We've done a lot of research. We've watched games to see what style that they're playing, but we hadn't realised quite how relentless the French team are. So going out and playing in France and playing against them the 2 test matches is not only going to show us where we are as a team, but what we need to do in order to be winning that World Cup in 2021.
It means quite a lot to me. It means that, you know, I've reached this level in the competition, and it makes me feel proud to, you know, put this shirt on and go out and represent my country.
For me, it's everything I've wanted to do since I was a little kid. I mean, I grew up supporting Leeds Rhinos. I wanted to go off there, and ever since then I ain't looked back and played for Leeds Rhinos, which is my dream. I played for England, which is my dream, and it means everything to my family as well. It's not just for me personally. It means everything for my family and friends, and I can't explain the feeling when you're out there singing the national anthem. It's just something special that you can never take away, which is something I'm proud of, really.
It means a lot, yeah. I've always wanted to represent my country. I've always liked playing rugby since like a young age, so it means like loads to represent your country.
It's massive getting a chance to represent your country. I never thought I'd go go down the route of going international, and I'm glad that I did, and it's a huge honour. You think about all the people who've won the shirt before you and all the greats of the game who've won it over time, and it's just to remind you about that. And then when you roll out there in front of French fans, when you're all lined up and you start singing the national anthem, it's just mental, kind of just booming it out. And the first France game we've got over there is my 20th cap, so I'm trying not to make a big deal of it to myself, but inside, when we win, especially on French soil, it'll make it even special knowing it's my 20th chance to represent England.
So welcome back, viewers on Twitch, the Our League app and YouTube. So the second half has just kicked off here at the English Institute of Sport in the Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final. Gravesend from Kent are leading Hull FC from Yorkshire 35-20. We've just seen a little question in the group around the ball. A modification of the ball in Wheelchair Rugby League. It's a size 4, slightly deflated ball. That slightly deflated ball has just been touched down by Jack Linden from Gravesend as he goes through the middle of the posts. He just gets on the inside shoulder of the number 8 there to score right under the post where the conversion will take place. That's a successful conversion, taking the scores to 39-20 in favour of Gravesend. So we're just been joined by Fred Knife from the Argonauts. Tell me how you've travelled today. How are you feeling for today's Challenge Cup final this afternoon?
Yeah, actually we're buzzing as a team. We had a good journey up. Tried to keep the excitement at a certain level so we weren't worn out. But breaking through here. Hang on a second. It's number 4 for Gravesend Dynamo, Jason Owen. Oh, great close-up. I've not seen any of the footage yet. This is amazing.
So that's Jason Owen there with the score through the middle. Great hair.
Yeah, always. Great little foot. Oh, yeah, faking through. Nice.
So like I said to our viewers out there, Jack's not all of a sudden become Southern. It's Fred Knife from the Argonauts just doing a bit of a guest spot for us here.
Great kick there from Jack Linden. And the quality of this is amazing. Good job with the coverage. I don't know who the actual team are. Who are the team that are covering it all? Oh, I've just been given away from the side.
Just our tech team there doing a great job pulling this production together here on Our League and Twitch.
Oh, I'm being waved at, so I'll have to shoot. I'll pass you back over to Jack Brown.
I'll see you later, Fred.
Enjoy the second half.
Good to see you.
Thanks, buddy.
Good luck this afternoon.
Taking a little long on that toilet break.
Domino's pizza.
Yeah, I hope Fred's not telling too many of my secrets out there. It's been quite an eye opener for me. I've been down here in Dartford, working. I've been staying with Fred from the Argonauts, so I've seen a couple of their training sessions now. They've been preparing for this. It's definitely going to prove to be an exciting game, this Challenge Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Like we talked to before about the two different styles of play, two real distinct types of play. The Skeleton Army will come with a threat, just 100 miles per hour all the time, isn't it? And just threats all over the park. Every single play is a threat.
Yeah, they're just quite relentless in how they play. We see Leeds will really try to game manage, and they'll change the tempo up and down throughout. Argonauts are just constant at. They're always, whether they're ahead, behind, they're always playing the same kind of style, always asking questions, always keeping that ball alive.
Yeah, very energetic, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got energy to spare, haven't they?
This is a tap from the penalty kick. Hull FC. Knock on there, an unforced error. He'll be won't be happy with that.
Steve will just bring Jason back to where the knock-on occurred.
Just look at that Hull FC line there. It really does need to move up. They need to sort that out pretty quickly, don't they, if they want to get themselves back in the game and bridge that 27-point gap. That's a hip thrust there. He's prone to a couple of them, is Dan.
Yeah, we said it before.
He strikes that balance, doesn't he, sometimes? Breaches the line.
It's one of those things in most professional sports. If you can get away with it so long, you do it until the referee tells you not to, really. Get away with what you can, and just stop it when he tells you to.
So there's a kick for touch there to get some much needed metres up the pitch.
Really starting to get busy in the stands now here at the Institute of Sport here in Sheffield.
Building nicely towards this afternoon's showpiece final.
Great bit of evasion. Pulling all the Gravesend men to him. Quick play of the ball. Again, they probably had the overlap there. If could have just got a better pass, probably through hands was the best option.
Does he give that as he took the tag?
Looks like Steve will be awarding this one.
Good touch to Delano. And that's a try given. It's a timely score there for Hull FC as they close the gap. So he just squares up his chair here. Gets on the outside and in between the winger in the centre.
Yeah, the Gravesend side will be trying to call for a dive on that one. In this spot, sometimes you can be disallowed the try if the referee deems that you're jumping yourself out of the chair in order to gain a better chance of getting the try. And it does say in the rules that you need to have all wheels on the floor, don't you, to score the try? But obviously a little bit of leeway in when you have collisions like that. Been called for that a couple of times myself. That'll be time off. Just doing a quick wheel change for Dan Grant.
Wheel change there. It's Mike Swenger carrying the ball in for Hull. Let's see what they can do on this set. Can they end the set positively?
I'd be just asking them to complete this next set, you know, carry on from a good previous one. Getting that score, he'll have to come back to the tag.
He's ball back. He's allowing him to play it again.
Sometimes you can get called for the turnover on them scenarios, don't you?
That's 5 and last. Let's see what they can do with this kick.
Gravesend don't look like they're dropping anybody for the kick.
Just going for it. It's not a bad place to turn the ball over there.
Bit of pushing and shoving.
Yeah, they really need to take advantage of this with some real quick line speed here. Pin them in. Restrict the carries.
Hull side is going a little bit too far back. They're not actually in line with the referee. They're going behind, back a little bit too far, probably five or six. Quite a few gaps they're leaving from not holding the line. Hull players jumping out, so the gaps are at the side of them. Gravesend work in twos and make the offloads. That's where the space is going to be.
He's got that intercept. You can see there on the Hull FC wheelchairs, they're created by Rugby League World Cup 2021. Funding has supplied the chairs they're in today. So for any wheelchair clubs looking to grow their club or grow the sport, if you get yourself onto the Rugby League World Cup website, details around funding for growing participation are on there.
There's an excellent push on in preparation for this World Cup. It's going to be something really special, and there's a lot of support from the RFL and other governing bodies to really put the much needed funds into this sport to grow it to that next level, because it really is a good sport. Just don't quite get as much of the coverage that we'd like it to get, but obviously we're a little bit biased, aren't we?
Definitely. I mean, I think it's a huge statement for the sport, isn't it, that we're going to be competing alongside the women's and the men's competitions.
Asking questions there again, Gravesend.
I think the 2021 World Cup will gravitate all three versions of the sport to some seriously new levels.
Yeah, it's the first time they're going to all be playing alongside together.
It is, yeah. It's the first time the three have been together. It's a really exciting times for us.
Hopefully score some free tickets out of it, will we?
Hopefully.
Maybe some free stash.
Well, you know how I like stash.
Yeah, I have got to a point now where my entire wardrobe is free clothes that I've got from the RFL, to be fair. I think I've only bought one pair of jeans in my life.
Always representing England.
Just turning up, really. I'm only there for the free kit. Again, some good position for Hull. We've seen the momentum changing a little bit, but Gravesend are really soaking it up well with the good line speed.
They don't appear to be tiring, do they? They're quite relentless. And that's just
a good line
just before.
I think Steve's going to be giving this one as well. It's another try for Hull.
Try.
Very much
just
still
sat
in the
back
game.
A little bit too much there on the line, didn't they? And didn't get off.
Yeah, just caught a bit stagnant on the line, Dan Grant.
So it's attracted two slow retreaters. Just seen the gap and gone for it.
A very close one. Number 7 for Gravesend. Mike was just coming in, almost got the tag in time. It was a close one, but in that case as well, he also had the support run on the wing as well.
Yeah, just that players. Number 8 there really held him and made him ask a question, which just bought the ball carrier just that split second, bit more time to put that ball down in between the two defenders. It's another 2 points here. That lead is being eaten into here. The scores are 47-32 to Gravesend over Hull.
Just 15 points in this game. Under 30 minutes to play.
Both teams are still looking pretty fresh here, so there's plenty to be played for in this game.
It's going to be interesting towards the end of the 80 minutes when everyone's arms are a bit tired and then wheels are feeling a little bit heavy at a push. Who's going to have that extra bit in the tank just to carry on and keep that tempo that they're showing now. Some great marker chasing from Jason Owen. Gravesend just have to be careful once you get a couple of them successful tackles from the marker, you just got to be careful because you can mess up your defensive line and change who you're on. Another good line from Hull.
Some skill carrying the ball on your back there.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of them, haven't we?
It's body on the line from both sides there.
Had a couple of them as well myself, to be fair. Seems like an aggressive sport, but everyone does like a good hug every now and again, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. They had the overlap there as well.
I think they just needed to be patient there, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't think they needed to rush that play of the ball. They had the overlap and there were no sign of Gravesend being able to scramble to cover that. 3 men on 1. Maybe just a bit more depth, quite flat, the 3 men coming up.
Tackle 1. Good patient defending there from Hull, just to pass him across.
Yeah, just holding the line.
It's a forced error.
That ball will go forward.
I think if they can keep the shape there in terms of the line, Gravesend will get pretty frustrated, I think. You could just see then.
Yeah, it's just forcing these errors as well, isn't it? Just from having a solid line, you're trying to hammer through it and keep picking away at it, but if that defence doesn't falter, then it can only get frustrating. And Gravesend just have to stay committed and stay focused on the process, really.
It's 2 defenders in there.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of aggression creeping in. And tag falling off again, just awarding Gravesend the penalty.
So in the lead up to this afternoon's Challenge Cup final, if you want to ask any questions to the commentary team, myself and Jack are happy to answer any questions around Wheelchair Rugby League. Just use the hashtag #OurLeague on Twitter. And we'll pick.
Some good solid defence from Hull, really holding the line.
Nearly cursed them there, Jack.
I nearly did, didn't I? Yeah.
Well, that was a good reaction there from Hull. Just got his chair in the way there. His chair between the line and the ball carrier.
Gravesend just needs some support on these runs. Make that one pass.
Really sucked the number 8 in there.
A bit more line speed. That's what we need from Dan. Get the offload.
That's no tag given there. That counts as a tackle under the posts, and it's a turnover.
Hull will really build from that successful defensive set. Only 15 points in this game. Hull the ones asking all the questions at the moment. Needs to be careful with 2 tags on his shoulder.
These 2 defenders again can get the ball away quickly. And the backs are still turned. That's
Much
a really
better line
quick
speed. Early kick coming in. Force the error from Gravesend.
And I think that is That's a fresh set of 6 here for Hull. This is a real opportunity for them here. Can they convert this field position?
So just need to put more numbers into these runs. Like I said in the first half, and it sort of pull that defence out, ask a couple more questions.
And he's got in between that. Looks like a try from here. 2 tags still on.
Successful try for Hull.
And they're really back in it now as we approach the business end of the game. The championship rounds, if you like, that last 20 minutes.
Only 9 in it, if they can get this.
So just look how that support player there on the right just pulls that defender out a little bit and creates a space on the inside. So Hull's starting to get bodies in motion and ask questions of the defence. So that's the scores are Gravesend 47, Hull FC 36. We approach the last 20 minutes of the game, the business end.
This is really crucial now. We've seen how the momentum's been switching constantly throughout this game, Hull to Gravesend and Gravesend to Hull. But it's this last 20 minutes, who can keep hold of that it's going to be really telling on what the outcome of this game is going to be. We're seeing the line speeds dropping from Gravesend now. Before, when they're putting that pressure on, they're just holding the line a little bit more further back, inviting Hull on, giving them that forward momentum.
Oh, that's a great ball. Oh, just
tags called.
Really got on the outside there and freed that space up.
The high kick, pulled him by the...
Oh, there you go, this is a breakaway. Can the one get him? He's away. Under the post there. That's a real body blow there for Hull.
Yeah, that's going to be really important in these later minutes of the game. Gravesend will be breathing a sigh of relief for that one. Excellent speed.
So conversion to come. Referee Steve Abel there just stopping the clock just to get the tee on.
That takes our score 53 Gravesend, 36 to Hull in the Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy. First ever one we've played. This is the first one. We've had the Challenge Cup's been around for a while, hasn't it? We've had the Challenge Cup since 2015. This is the first ever Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy.
I think it's a reflection of the game growing across the country, isn't it? So there's a need for another competition.
Yeah,
which is,
more
really
and more players getting involved, and the sport's growing so much. Just get more games played, don't we? We need just get it out there a lot more. Just gutted I'm not playing today. Yeah, I might have to see if I can put on a Leeds or an Argonauts top later and have a run out.
With a dual registration.
Yeah.
Chance here for Hull to get their defensive line set up, really organise it and get it moving forward. It's a great collision there, just tips him out of the chair. It's not necessarily a tactic we kind of use about tipping in the tipping the chair over, but we do talk about stopping momentum and getting chair in front.
Yeah, if there are techniques that players can utilise to try and make people fall over. The 1 hour teaching James Hazel at the first camps he came to was you can get side on side and you get a wheel just touching on your push rim. If you actually turn away from them, you can flip them out. And my brother Harry Brown used to be really strong at doing that. He used to make me look a fool quite a lot. And obviously you've got a metal frame around, so it doesn't hurt that much. It's only a wood floor. It bounces a bit. It's got a bit of give. Another kick.
Okay, we've got 16 minutes left of this Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final. Appears to be a little bit of an arm wrestle going on here. No team really dominating the other one in terms of field position as the space is opened up.
Though.
Does he give that? It's play on. Referee number 1 as Steve Abel's just blown his whistle.
Just having a word with Billy.
This is tackle 1. It's a tag just before the pass was made, so the play the ball will take place under the posts.
5 and last now for Gravesend. Just try to get they could just try to get a repeat set or something from this.
It's a crossfield kick. That's a great take under real pressure there from Hull FC.
Not a bad turnover for Gravesend either. Hull having to really bring it out of there.
That's a forward pass there.
Seeing that.
Some firm instruction there from Steve Abel. Got real good control of the game today.
Yeah, you don't want to tell Steve no, do you? Yeah.
You don't really mess with
no,
Steve Abel.
You don't mess with Steve.
It's an interesting little play there from Gravesend.
Bit more
as we come wide.
That's a great
He's bounced off.
Great evasion.
You'd be really disappointed there, wouldn't you, as a Hull FC player?
Yeah, the wingers really need to push up and stop that sideways movement from the attack and really trap them in a little bit. Especially on the wing, you've got the touchline you can use as we call it the extra defender, don't we? And really need to, it's just the chair position. Facing in's not the best. But if you can be facing out, keep pushing them that wing and use the side, that's going to happen. But a great bit of evasion from the Gravesend junior.
Conversion to come here.
Hull just got to keep their heads here. Again, this game's not all the way away from them yet.
And that's the converted 2 points there. 59-36 Gravesend and Hull. As we've alluded to earlier in the game, so if you're just joining us, the scoreline might appear pretty large, but there's some explanation around that. It's not as, the pitch is really short, there's lots of space in a 5-a-side pitch, which results in lots of tries being scored.
Makes for an exciting game though, doesn't it? That's what everyone wants to see, don't they? They want to see these tries being scored and they want to see the line breaks, and the sport just really promotes that really well. Great pass out to
What
the
a
wing.
great ball there from Neville Hope. Just draws the two defenders in, gets in between the space between.
Timed it perfect,
fourth
didn't
and
it?
fifth
Just
defender.
waiting for the defence to make the decision for him really there. He could have held on and we're going to go for the gap if that winger held, but drew them in perfectly. Great patience and great line speed from Jason Owen.
And you can see the slow retreat there, the quick play of the ball there. You could see the numbers on the Hull FC shirts, which suggests that's a quick play of the ball. They've took advantage of that and seen where the numbers are.
We said at the beginning, it's play of the ball is crucial, and when if you stick around to watch the Challenge Cup final later on, you'll see the difference in the play of the ball and how much that plays a crucial role in this sport. Really does. You can get into a tackle. Sometimes a full set can last something like 10 seconds, can't it? If you really get a rock on and the defence are up on you, the game's just so fast paced, and the play of the ball you can do it in under a second sometimes. We've seen.
I think you're going to see a definite increase in intensity and speed in this afternoon's game.
Yeah.
So excited.
Taking nothing away from Hull and Gravesend, we have an excellent
teams.
game today. Really showing why they're in this final, both teams. Lots of switching in momentum, lots of great rugby league being shown, and some great individual talents as well. Those who haven't seen Wheelchair Rugby League as well, we see we have an adapted kicking tee. It's a bit hard to kick from one of them small ones on the floor. Back in 2005, the first ever kicking tee was actually a Pringles can. A little bit of useless knowledge for you there, kicking from a Pringles can.
There's no denying that rugby league is an innovative sport, regardless of the variant of the game.
We had a game in France years and years ago, and the team. We've got another line break. It's another score for Gravesend. Really starting to increase this gap against Hull.
Like I said before, the young fellas are really performing well here, aren't they, for Gravesend?
Do you think that's just down to the energy they've got?
Yes.
They're a bit younger. They're not depleting as much. They've been quite well at managing their own pace in the game as well.
We've got the old fellas in the middle, haven't we? Kind of directing the play, and
yeah, it's a good dynamic.
And that's creeped over. So that brings the scores to 69-36 in favour of Gravesend in today's Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final.
You can see it on the face of these players. They mean business. The score might be showing that Gravesend are in a better position here, but it's all business for them. They're focused on what they need to do, and they're going to carry on with this pressure. Great professional play from Gravesend. That's a great chase from Hull. Some great performance. Another unforced error from Hull. They had it on a plate there. They overlap and they was there to take place, but just these handling errors that are creeping in. We talked about fatigue towards the end of the game and how these minutes would be testing for both teams. This is where we start to see the tired arms
that
coming
early
in.
defending, yeah. So who can dig the deepest there, isn't it? That's a really smart kick, isn't it?
Yeah, just getting stuck on the...
Even better that it's been
on the
whacked over the dead ball line. Some smart play there. You can see the Hull FC line are committed. There's nobody in and behind it, so the kick gets in the field position.
Need to stay strong in this Hull. The score might be getting away from them. They really need to bounce back, get up in the faces. This is the time usually we see in the game when a team is in the league, they start to ease off, slow down the play a little bit, keep the ball and just build the pressure that way. Hull need to be the ones to now change the pace of the game and make Gravesend play up to them.
Lots of bodies in motion here from Gravesend. No sign of fatigue, I don't think, in the way they're attacking. Sideways movement invited the defence just to push up. He's got the tackle there.
It's a definite try if he had his tag on his shoulder.
Some oohs and ahs from the crowd there as the number 2 from Gravesend falls to the floor.
Like I say, it's not that bad. There's a lot of bounce in this floor. Tested it out myself. Looks like a drop goal attempt. Always put the kick in. But again, a good turnover, making Hull play out of their try line. That's 2 tackles down and barely 4 metres away.
So Jack, it's approaching the back end of the game. It's time to start thinking about our man of the match. Where were your thoughts?
It's a
some
hard
good
one,
performances
really, isn't
across
it?
the piece.
It is. We've seen some great individual performances on both sides. But it's been a really good team played game. We've seen a lot of good rugby passing. A lot of these kick plays have been great. But for me, I think Jason Owen's just been dictating the pace of the game throughout this test, and is really leading Gravesend to what's looking to be a convincing win. But
Yeah.
like we say, the score doesn't reflect on what the intensity of the game is, and it's too easy to pull away or even claw back these scores. But I do think Jason Owen's been a strong advocate for Gravesend today and has really led them on to this first ever Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy final.
Yes, I agree. There's been some good there's been great team performances, a couple of standouts. Jack Linden's been really busy, but I agree. In our league man of the match today,
It's a beautiful kick.
Rugby League Trophy Cup final is Jason Owen from Gravesend. Well done, Jason.
Well done, Jason.
And that's a try given as we've just awarded the man of the match.
That's probably my try of the game, though. That. Again, just coming towards fifth and last, taking the ball in, inviting the defence up, and it's a nice little popped up kick, caught on the full and straight down over the line. It's beautiful, great little kick.
That's a great score, isn't it? Just sits up nicely, doesn't it?
Shows that Hull aren't finished with them yet. We're going to keep plugging away at them. Seen a lot of kicking in this game.
I think the kick's been really key, hasn't it? It's been a real threat for both sides. I think Gravesend have probably been the smarter in that department, haven't they? They've mixed it up. They've recognised when the defence has come at them and kicked in behind. They've used it to pop over the top just to...
Using the majority of the players as well, sort of in different parts of the game. They've strongly pushed Daniel Grant in there, and then he's sort of took the back step, and the juniors are coming through then, and then Jason Owen doing what he's doing. It's just sort of swapping it out, and I think that's why they've got a little bit more in the tank towards these last minutes of the game.
Good defence there from Hull.
Yeah,
just cuts out the space, gets his
really
chair
putting
between the
great
line.
pressure up out on Gravesend. It's a nice offload. The ball's gone backwards. Will it go out?
Oh, that's
Nice
a great pick-up. What a pick-up! Right on the wheel. There's that early kick again. I think that's just got a bit too much meat on it. So that's a 7 tackle set for Gravesend.
Gravesend not needing to rush anything at the moment, just take them in, complete the sets.
They've got a bit of space here, haven't they, just to eat the clock down.
Yeah. But again, the line speed's brilliant. That's a great carry.
There's quite an army building for the Skeleton Army. Some big support down from Dartford and Kent.
Seeing all the Leeds lot are here as well. Got the return of Luis Dominguez. Used to play basketball with that kid. Me and Jade often talk about wanting to adopt him.
That's some pick up that from Dan Grant, isn't it?
That is, that's brilliant.
Great bit of skill. He's happy with himself there, isn't he?
He's had a real impact since he came on in that first half, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's become another threat, hasn't he? Different type of threat. He mixes it up quite nicely, doesn't he, with his directness and his offload game.
The last minute of this Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final. Hull will be kicking off. The score is 75-42 to Gravesend.
It's a short kick off there for Hull. They retain possession. There's probably... that's a penalty for...
Double tagging.
Double tagging.
You can take 2 tags off the opposition players with the ball, but you have to take them at the same time. If you're coming late for them, they deem it as slowing the play of the ball or holding down a man too long.
Yeah, and I guess that's the transfer, isn't it, from the 13-a-side game. It's like a flop. So the tackle's complete, you've gone in there again. It's the equivalent, and it results in the same thing, a penalty.
Daniel Grant spent more time on the floor than in his wheelchair in this game.
Doesn't he? He likes this. Likes the wood, doesn't he?
It's good wood.
Loves his wood. Oh! Unfortunate there to miss out on that. That play was on. I suspect this is going to be the last play of the game. I said that in the first half, though. Oh, what a ball!
Beautiful pass. Again, you don't get tired of tries like that.
Always give it a forward pass there.
I bet my own words. I won't disagree with Steve, but...
I won't be arguing with Steve.
No, I won't be arguing with him, but we can have a see from the replay. See, there 2 tags taken, but at the same time will not give away a penalty. Great dip.
Good to see Gravesend still going at it, even though it's possibly the last set of the game.
Usually see people dip up and really slow it down.
And that's full time in the first ever Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final.
Well done to Gravesend, putting in a great show here. But well done to Hull as well, really showing dexterity towards the end of that game. They never said never. And winning for most of the first half.
It's a great advert for the sport, isn't it? Two teams really going for it.
It's just what rugby league's all about, isn't it?
The 2 kits today really testing our eyesight, Jack. It's
yeah, they can't see us behind it, but we are squinting a little bit, heads pressed up to the TV screen, trying to work out which one's which. There'll be the presentations now for Gravesend and Hull.
So the final score: Gravesend Dynamo 75, Hull FC 42.
They'll be really happy with themselves today, making history.
So there's a couple of highlights from the second half there.
I missed that the first time. He lost his wheel cap going into that collision.
Putting your chair on the line for the cause. Oh, that's a try that. Hull will be desperately disappointed with. Bounces off, doesn't get his chair in the way.
See the difference in some of the chairs as well. Some people put tape or a tyre cut in half over the front. This is used for... The ones without will use it so they can bounce off a tackle, and the ones with it use it so in defence they can really pin in a person and stick to the chair. Seen a real variety of skills on show. Passing game, kicking game. I'm ready to step it up another notch at 3 o'clock.
It's exciting times at 3, isn't it? So we've got the 2.
I've been looking forward to this
Challenge
one.
Cup finalists. So we're just the preparations ready. So there's Ben Jones Head of Performance of the England Performance Unit, and Mark Lovering making the presentation, Participation Director from the RFL. As our match official team receive their commemorative medals. To officiate a wheelchair rugby league game, there is 4 match officials, 2 in the in goal, 2 referees. Referee 1 looks at the ruck and is the lead referee. The number 2 referee looks to get the defence back 5 metres.
Now the man of the match, Jason Owen.
Great hair.
Yeah, a bit like mine, that.
Definitely not like mine.
He's using the proper caffeine shampoo.
And the runners up today, Hull FC, receiving their medals.
They can be happy with themselves with that performance. Played some really strong rugby league and scored some really pretty tries. Like I say, for my try of the games come from the Hull side, that little kick over, caught on the full.
They've got a real platform to build on here.
Yeah, they have. And they've had a really good season. They really dominated the league. They'll obviously be disappointed, but the coach Mike will be happy with the way they play and the style of play that they're doing and how they've held themselves today.
And here are our winners, Gravesend Dynamo from Kent. Great performance today from the team from Kent.
Yeah, they're just really strong in the ruck. They showed a bit of dominance and strength there. Great line speed. Like I say, the momentum of the game's changed a lot throughout, but I think Gravesend just able to hold on to it for a little bit longer than the opposition.
Apologies to our viewers there. The John McMullen tan's pretty strong.
Yeah, that is a bit strong, isn't it? Has he been on holiday again?
He has.
He has, really.
He's way more than his age.
I know.
And here we are, our winners today in the first ever Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final. Gravesend Dynamo from Kent.
That's a great picture, isn't it, for this sport? Showing the diversity of what rugby league means. ABs, disabled, old, young.
Just a reminder for our viewers out there on YouTube, Twitch and the Our League app, stay tuned. 3 PM we have the Challenge Cup final, the showpiece here at the English Institute of Sport in Sheffield.
It's going to be a good one.
You'll see a great game of wheelchair rugby league.
A lot of international players playing in this next game as well, isn't there? I think we have six players in the lead side, 4 in the Argonauts team.
Yep, just 10 across the national performance squad. I'll be wincing a little bit, hoping that the players don't get injured.
Wow, they're all protected by these metal frames, aren't they? That's what makes us able to go into these tackles.
Okay, guys, it's time to sign off from today's Wheelchair Rugby League Trophy Cup final. We'll return shortly. Myself and Jack will return shortly for the Challenge Cup final, which will be kicking off at 3 o'clock. So join us across the Our League app, Twitch and YouTube. We look forward to calling this one a little bit later.
Remember, if you want to ask any questions of us or any of the players we can get in touch with, just use the hashtag OurLeague.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.